Hey guys, time to answer these Q&A questions. We're going to start from the bottom so that the first person who asks get their questions answered first. How's the weather? Well, I live in Canada, so it's late September right now, so winter is coming. Fucking hate winter. Right now it's like, I don't know, 15 degrees, but it's going to get much colder very soon. Had Colors Ultimate been a success, what other remaster would you have wished to be made? A lot actually. Unleashed could do with a great remaster, mainly because of the frame rate drops on the PS3 and Xbox version. Adventure, although I think people want more of a remake rather than a remaster. Has there been any shows growing up that inspired you to be who you are now? No. No TV shows gave me inspiration in that way, but there are a lot of shows that I, of course, am in love with. Do you have any regrets on making your first video on American Scheme, causing him to harass you for almost 2 years now? No. I definitely find him to be incredibly annoying and obviously stupid. And he has frustrated me to the point where I've blocked him twice because I've also unblocked him. But I don't regret it at all. I wanted to make those videos. I wanted to prove him wrong. And even though he learned absolutely nothing, it ended up being great content for me. It was extremely funny. It was entertaining. I got a lot of views, so I wouldn't regret that. What choreography would you recommend an MJ fan to start with first and last? I don't know what do you mean first and last, but anyway, the first dance to learn, I think, for any MJ fan is definitely Billie Jean, because the choreography looks fantastic, but it's not that difficult. It has a huge variety of moves, almost all of which are iconic. And of course, it's his most iconic song, dance, routine, everything. How do I become an SJW? Are you asking me this because you want to become one? Because I'm certainly not going to encourage it, but the short answer is get a lobotomy. Next, what's your favorite anime and manga if you watch and see both? If not, then that's fine. I do not read manga. In terms of anime, it's probably Death Note because it's just like it's an incredible like investigation show, and I think it's the writing is fantastic. You've mentioned before that you aren't a fan of Alien Ant Farm's version of Smooth Criminal. What, in your opinion, would a musician or band need to do in order to cover a Michael Jackson song well? Honestly, nothing specific. A rock version can work for any of his songs, including Alien Ant Farm. I just really don't like that version of Smooth Criminal. But no, anything can be good. It can be a rock version, it can be a classical version, it can be a fucking heavy metal version. It just has to sound good. So there's nothing specific a person has to do. I just really don't like Alien Ant Farmer's version of that song. What do you think about the grunge movement in the 90s? I don't know much about it, and I wasn't part of it either, so really not much. But I don't like grunge music, if that's what you're asking. Who's one person you'd want to debate, and about what? Nothing specific. I've never found like one person that I want to debate, and I've never had one topic in mind. My desire to debate is more or less anything and to anyone who would disagree with me, and on any topic whatsoever, a person can message me and say, "Hey Matt, I want to debate you on this," and I would never say no based on who the person is, so I'll debate anybody. And I would never say no to a specific topic either, unless, of course, it's a topic that I'm simply not interested in, like John's theory. But, yeah. Could you tell us about your Mexico trip? There isn't really anything to tell about the trip aside from what's already shown in the video, except for, I guess, two things. If you look at the video, you'll notice early in the video, I started filming the resort at nighttime, which ended up being mostly just the boardwalk. And I didn't notice until I got home, but I didn't film the pool at all. And the resort had two of them. I don't know how I fucked this up. And what was funny is that the part of the video where it's nighttime, I turned the camera off right when I was near the pool. But I stopped because it had hit a minute and I wanted it to be a TikTok video. And I had planned to record again when I walked up to the pool, and for some reason I never did that, and I really don't remember why. However, if you want to see pictures of the pool, they do exist on the photo album on my Facebook account. And the other thing that you didn't see in the video was that Steph and I did a photo shoot. There's no video of it, but again, there are photos of it on my Facebook. When you and Steph were in Mexico, did you two get robbed? Do you mean like the apartment get robbed or get robbed while in Mexico? Because neither of those happened. And why would they? Are you one of those people who thinks that Mexico is like the most unsafe place in the world? Because it's not. Especially the particular part of Mexico we were in. We weren't in like the unsafe like slums of Mexico City. We were in like a resort in Cancun. So yeah, that's not that's not unsafe at all. Best child actor. Mine is your local the Hamster. I don't really have a favorite child actor. I guess like most kids, I watched Home Alone and thought Macaulay Culkin was awesome, but other than that, I have no thoughts at all. Which of the three do you think has the biggest ego? Onision, Raimi from Predator Catchers Alliance, or John? I don't even know who Rami is, but I do think John's ego is bigger than Onision's, and that's saying something. Do you listen to Francis, Albert, Dean, or Sammy? If you do, who do you like better? I don't, so I can't answer. And also, out of curiosity, asking how tall are you? I am 5'7". 5'7", so yes, I'm pretty short. Well, apparently short for what men are supposed to be. And do you think Bernie Mac would expose the Hollywood elites like Ricky does at the Golden Globes? And you know who Bernie Mac is, right? Yes, I know who Bernie Mac is. I don't know why you think specifically Bernie would, so I'm going to go with no. But I do wish more actors besides Ricky Gervais and I guess Ashton Kutcher did that kind of thing, but very few actually have the balls to. If you could go back in time to any year for a 3-month vacation, what year would you travel to and what would you do? Well, I've always said that if I can go back and be born whenever at any point, I would pick 1967 because I would become a teenager as soon as the 80s began. However, if I can go back to a certain time and it not be permanent, I would go back to the 30s because I want to experience what swingers were like. I know swingers still exist today, but obviously it was a bigger thing in the 30s. But I don't think I'd want to do it permanently, and that's why I would pick that as the 3-month thing. Are there any countries, places on your bucket list that you'd like to visit that you haven't gotten around to yet? A lot, because I don't travel very much. I've only traveled to a few countries in my life because I don't have very much money, unlike most people. I still want to go to Disney World, which we're going to next year. A lot of people know that I do not like Disney. I'm not a Disney fan. I never have been. So people might be wondering, well, why do I want to go there then? The reason I want to go is because I believe that everybody should go there at least once in their lifetime, even if they don't like Disney. I also want to go to Italy and a few other countries too. What's your job? Well, I've been in nursing for the last 8 years, and I don't really like it, but I've been trying to go in and out of different fields. Some office type work, warehouses, and mostly just random shit. Most people know that counseling people is like a huge part of my life because I'm very, very skilled at giving advice. The unfortunate thing about it is, though, for me to do it on a professional level and be paid for it, I have to go to school for it, and I fucking hate school. That's why I went into nursing, because that course was much shorter in college. Truth is, I would like to get into counseling or therapy officially, but to be honest, I just kind of stopped caring, and I have managed to help hundreds of people with all kinds of very big issues. I've helped people through suicidal attempts and depression and all kinds of things because I have the skill of a professional therapist. I just don't have the schooling to do it on a professional level. So if I could, I most certainly would. But as long as I can do it on a more personal level, like on YouTube or something, and not have to pay thousands of dollars in college or university, I'm fine. And nursing is okay. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's stressful. Besides Michael Jackson, who is your biggest inspiration? I don't have one. I feel inspired just by people in general who encourage me, and yes, that can just be friends. But in terms of like a specific person or like a celebrity, I don't have one. If you could have one, which would it be? Invincible Tour or This Is It? This Is It. but with bad era Mike performing both, making it equal because he wasn't healthy during both times. I'd still pick this as it. Did Steph love the beach in Mexico? She never likes the beach, doesn't like or love it, but she goes on the beach because she knows it's my favorite thing in the world, one of them. What is your favorite Sonic game besides Colors? Mania. If you were to dance to a Michael Jackson song with Michael himself, what song? Well, a lot of you know that I actually managed to dance Dangerous with Lavelle Smith, but I think I would pick that with Michael too. And the reason is because the choreography is so in-depth, and Michael seemed to really, really like doing Dangerous. Like, he did Dangerous constantly, all through the 90s, like in award shows and stuff, and even into the 2000s. He did it in 2002 twice. It just seemed like it was a choreography that Michael really liked doing, so I would do that with him. What is your favorite fast food restaurant? Well, I guess I have to answer fast food chain. A lot of people know that I don't like chains because I prefer to go to like independent local places to get real food. But if I do have to pick a chain, unfortunately, I'll go with Burger King. Burger King is one of the most underrated burger places probably in the world. It is like there's this huge meme online that Burger King is shit, even though they're actually not. Their prices are better than McDonald's. The food tastes more real than McDonald's, and the portions are bigger. Sure, I'm comparing Burger King to the worst place on the planet, McDonald's, but Burger King is actually pretty good. Burger King or Wendy's, and if I have to pick a place that is still a chain, but a smaller chain, I'm definitely going with Five Guys. What is your favorite television sitcom? All in the Family. I've made a few videos talking about All in the Family, so you should check those out, but I'm guessing you haven't seen them. And what Michael Jackson song do you like the most? For the last 15 years, it's been pretty clear that it's Billie Jean, and that it hasn't changed. If you had the chance to say anything to yourself in the past, what would it be? This may come as a shock to a lot of people, but I probably would have pushed myself to actually become a counselor or a therapist. When I started the nursing course, if I can go back, I would have said no to the nursing course and actually done the course for counselor. I would have actually done it. But since it's been over 10 years, it becomes a lot harder now with my current lifestyle. I don't live with my parents anymore, obviously. I stopped living with my parents when I was like 22. Not having enough money to do it now, not being able to go to college, because even if I did want to go to college, I wouldn't have enough time to work at the same time. It just wouldn't work anymore, unfortunately. And of course, me disliking school. And even if I could go back and tell myself, go do it, I would probably say but I hate school. Why would I want to go? I would basically say to myself, I know you don't, but just fucking do it. Trust me, because the dislike you have for school is worth it for you to go and do it, is what I would say. When will you go back to the gym? In our apartment complex, there is a gym and a pool, and I'm able to go and use them whenever I want, and I do swim occasionally. I'm just not swimming as much as I should, but in terms of when, I mean, I do it. Right now, it's like once a week, but it should be every day. I'm just lazy and tired and whatever. Do you watch Netflix shows? Not really. Most of what I watch on Netflix is shows that I already know, but I just find them on Netflix and rewatch them. In terms of like new shows that are specific to Netflix, not really. 2, which year do you miss the most that you lived in? 2008. Because it was around this time that Michael was still alive. My life, I had just finished high school in 2007, and life was pretty easy and chill and happy and all that stuff. One change of the whole world, what would you pick? Well, I can only pick one because there's several that I actually would pick. But I guess reverse the SJW culture and save the world. What year did you want to be born in? 1967. Do you know who Candace is? Do you mean Candace Owens? If so, yes. Why are you a traitor? Oh, this is that Joseph white nationalist guy. I'm a traitor because I believe that all people are equal. Sorry. Why are you racist? Isn't it funny when you're asked about racism and non-racism, but it gives you the same answer? Welcome to 2021, where being racist and not racist is the exact same thing. I'm a traitor because I believe all people are equal, and according to modern day, I'm racist because I believe all people are equal. Oh, should I even answer this guy? Whatever. If you could talk to an SJW face to face, what would be the first thing you would tell them? I feel like I've already answered this, but basically there wouldn't be a specific thing I'd ask or tell them. I would just offer them to debate me on various SJW topics and try to change their mind. Do you actually forgive Dangerous Moonwalker since your debate, or do you still feel the same way about him? Truthfully, I actually do feel a little bit better about him. A little bit, because he did delete those things off of his Instagram. Like, that wasn't a lie. He actually did it. So I feel a little bit better, but not that much. What exactly about John's theory do you find believable or possibly maybe true? Nothing specific. I've heard a lot of his points, and I find pretty much all of them to be extremely interesting, but they don't actually prove anything. And I've told John repeatedly why his points are not facts, because he doesn't even know what a fact is. He just finds something that's very suspicious or very interesting and goes, that's a fact. Well, no, it's not a fact. You found something interesting that could support your theory, but it's not proof. And I did this by trying to teach him what circumstantial evidence is, and I also did this by trying to teach him what disproving a negative means, and he just doesn't understand it. But yeah, there is nothing specific, and I have told him this before, by the way, I actually hope he's right. I genuinely hope he's right, but I won't believe it until it's proven. So, do you want to debate John? If so, why hasn't it happened already? What's the holdup? So this has also been answered repeatedly, but I don't want to debate him because it's not about agreeing or disagreeing with his theory. It's that it doesn't interest me. Me debating him has nothing to do with if I agree or not. Absolutely nothing. I'm just not interested in his theory. And I shouldn't be forced to be. Like, imagine messaging someone and saying, hey, do you support feminism? And the person says, well, honestly, I don't really support it or disagree with it. I just don't really care about the movement. And the person harasses you for not being interested. A person should never be forced to debate about something that simply doesn't interest them. And not being interested does not make a person an asshole or a fake. It just means that the topic doesn't fucking interest you. And that's it with me. I just don't care about it. And I shouldn't have to care. No one should if they don't want to be. Opinion on Ray Jackson. I don't have one. Back in 2020, why did you feel it was okay to say the N-word not once, but 3 times on multiple occasions? So it wasn't 3, it was actually twice. And the first one was me reading the message, which you already know. And the second one was when I was explaining it to Joey on the live stream. And as proven, about... How many times did I prove it? I think 6 times, but apparently I have to do it again. As proven 6, now 7 times, it is not bad to say it if you are not saying it to a person. In the case of like reading it on a message, singing it from a rap song, or reading in a book, that's not bad because the word racism literally means discrimination and prejudice against somebody based on skin color. But if I'm saying the word and talking to my wall, that's not racism. That's literally not what racism is. And on top of it, again, you already know this, I said the A version, not the ER, and people who are older, you wouldn't understand because you're part of this pathetic young generation, but if you were older, you would know that people my age don't consider the A version to even be bad at all, even if you are saying it to somebody. Out of my videos, which is your favorite? None. They're all shit. Which one video of mine would you want me to permanently delete, and why? The one where you called me a racist? I think it's pretty obvious. Also, do you have any video recommendations for me to do? Do a video exposing yourself for lying and contradicting yourself multiple times. Can we settle this mutual war conflict we've had for the past 9 months? Until you delete videos about me, at least the most, like, attackish ones, like the N-word one, you and I will be enemies forever, because you're a piece of shit. And a liar. And finally, how do you stop consistent waves of depression? So, this is a very big question, wow. So, you need to first specify if the depression is circumstantial, or if it's actually, like, medically an issue. So do you have chronic depression or manic depression? That's something that you will need to actually go and see a therapist for. You can't just stop it in a day. I can help with it, but it takes sessions. Like, it can take months or even years to get over it. However, if it's circumstantial depression, you need to just get rid of those circumstances. So I have a video on anxiety that would help, because anxiety effects are often linked to depression. I also have an FTR called The Best Advice You Will Ever Hear, where if you follow the advice in the video, it will probably help with circumstantial depression as well. And finally, check out what in your life are the most toxic things that are causing you to be depressed. Does family depress you? A friend? A partner? Are you depressed because you're always seeing negative, toxic things online? Do you have toxic people in your life? Is social media toxic to you? If you find out that it is, and you need to really analyze if that is the case, then stop using those things. These days, social media is actually one of, if not the most toxic things in the world, so that might be the cause, and if so, get off social media for like a week or a month, and you'll probably feel better. But like I said, if it's a medical depression and not a circumstantial one, it can take you months or years, and you will need sessions for it. And finally, if MJ were alive and healthy, do you think he could tour? Well, yeah. Because if he was alive and healthy, what else would stop him? Nothing. So yeah, of course he can. All right, there's the Q&A. That was a lot of questions. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. See you later.